Hello, everybody. Welcome. Julian is almost better. He's almost better, but he's still having headaches, and so the screen is still messing with him. So that is why Julian is not still here. I know I see Jeremy asking about him. I'll put that question up. So Tiffany graciously agreed to co-host with me, and Sarah is filling in for ATL Flippers because they won tickets to, what's it called?
VidCon.
VidCon.
Ooh.
They won tickets to VidCon, and so I do not blame them for rescheduling. So Sarah is filling in for them. So we had like a whole show lineup change. So I'm going to let these three ladies introduce themselves. If you're not familiar, they all do have channels. Richard will be dropping links to the channels. So I will let them introduce themselves to you now. Here's Sarah.
I am Sarah from Sarah Says LLC. I work part-time hours. I have 3 children at home to do it around their schedules. Took the entire summer off and had drafts ready to go to still ship and list all summer. My channel is dedicated to teaching you about data and analytics and tools. I have a degree in mathematics and education, so I really want to teach resellers how to use their numbers and data to make money reselling.
Perfect. Here's Rachel.
Hey guys, I'm Rachel Strickland. I'm Sarah's newest subscriber because I really want to check my analytics. So she's got me in the for real. Guys, I'm here on YouTube as Rachel Strickland. I'm about to hit 10K. So if you would sneak over there at some point and sub up, that would be amazing. I'm a full-time reseller selling on eBay, Whatnot, and Poshmark. And my channel is just dedicated to educating people how to do the same thing.
Perfect. Here is Miss Tiffany.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tiffany at Thrifting Vegas. My YouTube channel is Thrifting Vegas. I also have an eBay store and a Poshmark store. And I'm just recently approved on Whatnot. My first sale is going to be this coming Sunday at 1 p.m. So do hop over to Whatnot. And I know Kat's Whatnot is approved too. And she has her first sale coming up. It's really exciting. I'm so thrilled to be here. And Julian, I hope you feel better soon.
Yes, I hope he does too, because we were in the same situation. We kind of still are. Brad is still not at 100% here either. So yeah, so my first Whatnot's tomorrow at 11, and hopefully the signal will hold out. That is my only thing right now, is that signal will hold out. We are, I'll go ahead and say this because I know we're going to get asked. We are actually like this much out of the cone now. We are out of the cone. So we are only under a tropical storm warning now. I am sorry to my southern neighbors, and I will actually put this up. Deborah said, I will dodge a bullet. So as of the newest one, we will. However, she is now in the path of the eye. So Deborah, please be safe. And to all of you in Southwest Florida, please be safe. If you're in a direct hit, I don't care if you're a native Floridian, get out of there, get out of there. I'm hard-headed, but if I was going to take a direct hit, we would leave. So please be smart about it. Please be safe. And yeah, stay safe, guys. Watch out for the water. Sometimes the floods is like the worst part of that. All right. Jeremy wants to know, is Julian going to be okay? He is. I'm talking to him, and he just has the headaches. But South Carolina might get hit on this hurricane's loop back. So all my Carolinas and Georgia people, you guys watch out for it too. This thing is big. It's like 500 miles across. It's no joke. So be careful. Everybody, it's not, well, it's the southeast of the country, but it's the southwest of Florida. It's the West Coast because it's up in the Gulf, and I am on the Gulf Coast. So you guys be careful. Be careful. All right. Mr. Richard, who is helping us, if you do not know, definitely check out Otnip Drop Flips. He says, list from the phone or computer or both. What is better?
That's me, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm like, I don't want to cut in. So for eBay, the computer has more options, more things to drop down, and is definitely made. eBay is definitely working on making it more mobile friendly. So I actually have a virtual assistant. They do it on the computer, and then I go through and check everything on my phone and just launch it from my phone.
Yeah, I list primarily on my phone. The only reason that I really get on the computer to list on, again, if we're talking just about eBay, because I think all the rest of the platforms are almost made, like she said, for your phone. I get on the computer if I'm listing multiples of the same thing. So like when I had 462 cookbooks, it was easy to create a draft of cookbooks and then like number each one and put a Post-it note on each book. And then I just changed the title. And as long as the price was still the same, like Dello, my son and I just listed 63 hats, and I did all that from the computer because it was just easier. So if I'm dealing with drafts, I want to be on the computer. Otherwise, I'm on my phone, especially like if I'm looking up a comp in the thrift store, then I'm just going to go ahead and click sell similar and put the price in that I think it's worth, like right there in the thrift store, just because I think it's faster for me on the computer.
I list everything from my phone too. But I also go into the computer because it, like the girl said, it does have a few extra features that the phones don't. I primarily use my computer to tweak the pictures. The eBay app has a really, really good photo editing where you can brighten and you can white out the background, and it's really, really good. I only usually do my first picture just for time saving sake. But yeah, the sell similar is really good. And what was the other thing you can do? Oh, there's a few more fields. It's much easier to put your item specifics in on the computer. So if you go in, there's more available than there are on your phone. Just a few more options that will make your listing more visible to buyers.
Yeah, and I'm a phone lister, but I do all my drafts from the computer. So I have 3 listers that are on my payroll. One of them hasn't done any listings in over a month. So really I look at it as I have 2. So I have 2 listers, and I like to do their drafts from the computer because I'm the one that does the pricing. So I actually comp on my phone with the draft pulled up on my computer. That way I can price them, because if I'm on my phone, I'm in the eBay app. I have to go into it, see what it is, go out, come back in. So it's really hard to do the drafts from the phone, but it is easier to do the drafts from the computer. So that's what I use it for. Other than that, I'm pretty much phone. Tatiana Cox sent a $10 super chat before we even started. Tatiana, you're amazing. Thank you. Okay, guys, I don't know if Gino is in here. Gino's Finds made me a new super chat. So you're going to see it right now for the first time, and Tatiana's going to get the first one. So Gino's Finds made me this. I absolutely love it, and I hope you guys like it too. Let me know. You know what I didn't think about? Gino, I hope I don't have a copyright issue with that. I didn't run it through anything. Hopefully
I'm
not.
sure that's probably Gino playing like the drums or something.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. You know what's so funny? My keyboard typing one, I don't have like the rights to, but like nothing picks it up. So, because I have Epidemic Sounds for my big channel, but not for my little one, and luckily it hasn't copyright striked me yet.
Nice.
So yeah. So Miss Tatiana, let me know. Everybody, let me know what you think of Gino's. I like it. I think it's cool. Miss Bridget, Aunt B, says, how do you stay organized?
I overcompensate. I am definitely not an organized person by nature. You can ask my spouse. So in my business, I overcompensate as far as I have virtual assistants. Everything for my virtual assistant goes into a spreadsheet that they have access to. I type it in there and then they can see it. Like, these are the photos I'm going to send you. This is the number. This is where it's from. Like, overdo it so that I can, my brain doesn't function. As far as my space goes, everything behind me is what needs to be processed. And then I have an inventory station down in the basement that has everything in a SKU with a bin number that is in my eBay listing or Poshmark or, listing that helps me to pull when I ship.
For me, like my main motivation in staying organized is when the family has to break out a pogo stick to get through the living room. I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably take some of the stuff downstairs. I organize my inventory by category because I could never do SKUs. All my women's tops are in that bin right there. Those are all my hats. That's all my women's, and it's written on the side of the bin in like one of those pottery crayons. And so I can change them if I need to. But like all the wood is together, all the ceramics are together, kids' books, because then like I don't even have to think about where it's at. I know exactly jewelry ties are together. As far as like spreadsheets, I'll keep a spreadsheet with like my cost of goods and things like that together. And then like I have a separate spreadsheet for my son is not 18, so he doesn't have his own account on these platforms, but he sells on my account. And so that shows like all of his fees that are taken out, so on and so forth, down to like what I need to give him. I realize I'm going to end up paying taxes on his income, but you know, it's just the bullet I'm going to take for my kid, I guess. So yeah, I just, I try to like create new organization strategies as I go that work for me, or adapt other people's strategies. Cause if you try to use like everything that you see online, it can kind of be overwhelming.
As far as managing my time, I have a to-do list. I love my lists. The first part is everything that has to be done. Second part, you know, would be great. And the third part, if I get to it. As far as inventory organization, I have a bin system also. Everything in my eBay store is tagged in the little private field right below the title as you're making the listing. So that gets coded with the bin it's in and then the date it went in there, so I can keep on top of how long I have stuff. You know, like Rachel said, there's always, if you're a reseller, there's going to be boxes because they're always coming in, they're going out. You've either got, you know, purchases or mailboxes. So, you know, the key is just to stay focused and get done what needs to be done, and everything else can follow.
Yeah. So for me, the big thing, because like some people made comments like my inventory looks like a mess, and it does, but I know exactly where everything is. And my response to that is like, my sheds aren't open to the public. I'm not trying to make a beautiful display. I just need to know where the stuff is. So for me, I have 3 different inventory areas. They're marked by letters, they're marked by numbers. And as long as I can find everything, I am good. So it might not look organized to a typical, I'm not organized either. And I don't overcompensate for it either. But I know where my stuff is. So I think for me, that's the biggest thing. And I'm a big to-do list person like Tiffany too. I actually just got 2 new planners. So now I have 3. I got like a daily one where like, you know, at the end of the day, you think of like everything you need to do the next day. So I got one just for that, to write down like, because I'm bad about, I lay down and then I'm like, oh, I need to do this and this and this and this, and then I can't sleep. So I got one just for that, so I can write down all of that stuff. And then I have my regular monthly and weekly one. And that helps kind of get it out of my head and me to go to sleep too. So I'm a big, I will write it down more than once. And I like to check things off too, you know, and makes you happy.
I have
Post-its
sticky notes like everywhere. Like this is my planner.
Yeah, and sticky notes work. Sarah frozen?
No, I was moved. Am I frozen?
Not to me.
She's frozen to me. I hope you're not talking. I don't want to interrupt. Okay, now you're unfrozen. My internet, I might switch back to the house one, but I'm kind of scared too, because we're getting like outer bands. It's nothing impressive more than like an afternoon storm, but my internet at the first sign of rain is like I quit. Nicole sent a question, and then I saw a super chat too. Nicole said, I have 450 items in my store and I can't list any more this month as I reach my 250 limit. Is it time to invest in a store or no? I'm trying to list like mad for 4th quarter.
I say it's time to list for a store or get a store, even if you don't have this many items, if you want to make money on eBay, because you get tools and analytics. You can run sales. You can look at your analytics. It's going to help you become a better seller. At this point, yes, if you're paying for your listings, then definitely worth it for a store. But even if you're just starting out and you really want to start from the ground up, the things that it gives you to have a store is absolutely worth it for me. And you get free shipping supply. I mean, free because you pay for a store, but you get free shipping supplies as well. So you're really making some of that money back.
Yeah, I think I wish we had just screenshot this question, because so many times people are like, when do I get a store? Exactly when you're where Nicole is, in my opinion. This is when you get a store, when you want to be listing more stuff, but you are not allowed to. Girl, get a store yesterday. You are going to kill it in Q4 because you already have what a lot of people don't have. You have the motivation to get the listings done. So you're wanting to do it. I mean, I'm not even going to say you're already halfway there. You're 3/4 of the way there. That store is going to get you there. You're going to, like, I see big things in your Q4. Get the store.
That is so true, because you know what? As soon as you get the store, it's game on. You're serious. This is your business. This is your baby. And you want to do the best job you can with it. So the second you know in your head, I've got a store, I'm a business owner, this is my thing, you're going to, sky's the limit for you. Do it now. And like the girl said, you do get free shipping supplies. I believe it's $25 a quarter. You can get eBay tape, you can get boxes, you can get tissue, whatever you want, whatever you need. For me, the eBay tape's the best deal because tape is crazy expensive, and you know, it gives your eBay store a little bit of a, you know, whatever, snooty foot in the door. You go walk in the post office with your eBay boxes. Yeah, I'm an eBay seller. I look at my boxes, so I love my eBay tape.
I would say just be careful that you haven't reached like your allowed limit, because getting a store won't increase that. So if you're like at a hard stop of what you're allowed to list, getting a store will not allow you to increase that. So be very, very careful, because those two things can be like confused. Like if you're over your 250 free, but you still have some left, then you're okay. But a lot of times I've heard people get stores and they don't get an increase in their limit they can list. So I would make sure, like if you, let me look on my phone and see, I think it's on your main selling page. So if you look at the bottom of the eBay app, it tells you your selling limits. This is on the front selling page. So like I can list 12,000 more items and $352,000 more dollars. But look at your monthly selling limits. If it says you can't list anymore, getting a store is not going to increase that. So be very, very careful about that. And it's funny, Tiffany, my husband went in and he said it was funny because there was somebody else there with an IKEA bag with eBay boxes on Monday, and they only had 4 boxes, and we had over 60 go out on Monday. And so this guy's there with his IKEA bag, and my husband walks in, and the post office lady's like, "Do you need the cart?" And he's like, "Yeah, I need the cart." So the guy like stood in the parking lot watching my husband like unload all of our eBay boxes. I said, "Did you tell him about my channel?" He goes, "No." I'm like, "Oh, thanks, honey, thanks." So yeah. Katie, will you hit that 990? You're so wonderful. Guys, Katie Reeds is behind the scenes being amazing, helping me. So she's hiding. She's the ghost. If you haven't checked out Katie Reeds, definitely check her out. I appreciate her. French Pug Love sent a $9.99 super chat and said, "I'm a new mom." Oh, Katie is too, hiding. We just saw the baby before we started. 3-month-old baby boy. Any advice on how to balance baby and reselling? Like, I want to try the bins, but I'm nervous about having him with me. And you gals rock.
So I'm a mom of 3, not 3 months though. My youngest is finally 5 and they're all in school and I have time to do things. But I definitely sympathize with you I started reselling when they were itty bitty babies. Baby wearing was my godsend. I never took them sourcing with me because they didn't do well. I am jealous. I've seen videos of Kat taking, and mine would not sit in a cart. Like it just would not. So I would get a sitter to source and just go gung-ho at that. But I would take photos, I would list, I would do all kinds of things with them on my back taking a nap. So that was like my biggest thing. And that was my biggest thing was baby wearing.
Yeah, moms are such rock stars. I'm just imagining you wearing your baby and like killing it over there. The biggest thing is, like, we kind of joke, I quit working 40 hours a week for someone else so I can work 80 hours a week for myself, which is true. But I'm a mom before anything else. And like, you have to realize that you'll never get this day back with your kids. You're never going to get this time when your baby's 3 months old. It's going to be gone. And your most important job right now, I'm going to tell you, is to raise up that baby that you have, because like that's our future, is these kids. You'll never get a second opportunity to do it. Okay. There will always be more money to be made. That might not be the popular answer tonight, but I believe it to be the truth. Like, you can always make more money. If like, I was still nursing my son when I first started reselling, and that was really hard. And that was what someone told me, was that this is your most important job right now. And I was like, oh, I just felt like a burden was lifted off of me. So I always try to pass that on to other moms. Yes, I can work 80 hours a week if I want to, because I love my job. But here lately, I've been doing a better job of being done when they get out of school, outside of like YouTube stuff. A lot of the times I'm doing that late at night. But I got to make time for those kids first and foremost. So instead of telling you like how to make time for your business, because I think you'll always find a way to do that, because you could be up at 2 a.m. doing that if you want. I'm going to encourage you instead to make time for your kids, because that's the most important.
That is really the best advice. Absolutely. My kids are older. Mine are 12 and 8. But yeah, I remember, well, I was doing a different job, not reselling when my kids were babies. But for me, thrifting was my escape. So I would go thrifting in the afternoon when my daughter had been fed and changed and she was having a nap. I'd put her on my front and she'd fall asleep, and I'd just go to Goodwill for an hour. You don't have to go for a long time. Just, go until the baby's had enough, really, till the baby wakes up. But don't feel like you have to do it. Do it because you want to do it. And like Rachel said, you won't get this time back. I so miss the baby days, the 3 months to a year. Yeah, treasure the time, really.
Yeah, and for me, I do a lot with Dalton. So he is with me. He was good. So Sarah was saying hers wouldn't tolerate it. Dalton loved it. Now at this point at 4, not so much. He doesn't have the patience so much anymore. But when he was 1, 2, and 3, he loved going with me. I didn't take him when he was 3 months, because I really started the reselling thing right before he was 1. So I didn't really have to juggle. I had to juggle because I was still working 3 nursing shifts of 15 hours a day. I would say babies nap a lot. So if I was in that situation, I would take advantage of every nap. When they're napping, I would list. Or the cool thing, when they're napping, you could take photographs, and then you can sit on the couch and hold and cuddle them and do listings, or they can sleep in your lap and you can do listing. So Dalton and I still do that. He likes to sit with me, watch a movie, and I can do listings. I also am trying to get the majority of stuff done before he gets home. Same thing, which is really hard when you're a workaholic, and at least give him an hour of one-on-one time, which is hard for me as a workaholic, but I'm trying to make myself and make Brad as well. I'm we need to take, one-on-one time, do whatever he wants, which lately he likes to play swords. He likes to sword fight. And he's been dancing lately. So we were packing in here today and dancing to the Freeze song. We would dance and then we would freeze. That's what we were doing, all of us, while we were packing, and then we were hopping. So, I think you can kind of integrate the two for sure. And now Dalton's getting older. So I was making envelopes for my Whatnot sale as far as when they get a little older. So we were going over what number is this? What letter is this? When I was writing it on the envelope. So I think it's cool that you can kind of learn while you're doing it too. But yeah, you'll figure it out. It's hard to balance. But yeah, definitely, especially when they're little, when they're awake, spend time with them and love them, because they take lots and lots of naps. Dalton doesn't take any naps anymore. Yeah. So I do not want to forget your dolphin from Gino. Here you go. Yay. Look at Richard likes the new super chat. Yes, I like the new super chat too. It's we're in the islands, jamming. We should be having a margarita. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for all your help too, Richard. Richard's a great help to me. I really appreciate you. Here is I'm going to name the dolphin after Gino. That's what I should do. Here's Gino's dolphin. Haha. Makes me want to dance every time. I'm like,
we need a limbo or something.
Yes. Okay. 365 Vintage Hunter sent a $10 super chat and said, thank you for all the information that you give to each and every one of us and taking time out of your day and away from your families to do this. Thank you. I love you guys. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us. I love hanging out with everybody. I've talked about it before. I'm kind of an introvert. So like, this is my people time. Like, this is my interaction. I get to hang out. Last week, me and Angie, we were on here till midnight and Brad came out and yelled at me. Not really yelled at me. He's like, do you know what time it is? So we were backstage after the show ended at 10, just like talking and talking. And I'm like, I thought they were asleep. They were not asleep. So, yeah. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Here is your dolphin. Thank you so much. Joyce, why can't we do? I mean, in reality, I can do like fake limbo. In reality, I would like fall on my butt. So but at least it's not real. Yes, there is Gino saying he made it himself. And I appreciate you making it, Gino. Thank you so much.
You're getting a bit spotty, Cat.
Let me switch back to the phone. Hold on. Talk, Rachel, or somebody.
I was just thinking how super talented Gino is and how everyone should go sub up his channel so they can sit in the front seat with him during his videos.
Absolutely. Make sure you're sub to all these people that do so
right here, guys.
Yes. Absolutely. Sarah and Rachel and Gino.
Yeah, he's
Yay,
he's
there she is.
Is it better?
Yeah, you were just
Hello?
you cut out in the middle of a sentence and you look more clear now.
You just froze for a second.
I'm on my phone internet now, so hopefully, but I have to switch back and forth sometimes. It's really funny that it works on one and not the other, and then I switch and that one behaves, and then I switch again, and yeah. Belinda is asking, what time is my show tomorrow and whatnot? My show tomorrow and whatnot is 11 a.m. Eastern Standard, as long as I have signal. As long as I have signal. And I'm the giveaways are like what I'm most excited about. I'm giving away over $500 in jewelry. So that should be like super, super exciting. And if you know me, I go all in. I'm doing over 100 items my first show.
You're going to be on there for 7 hours.
Yeah, how long is that going to take you?
I'm doing 20-second auctions. No, we're going to move. Watch me. We're going to be going through it. We're going to be going through it. Where did I go? I see Mark. It scrolled me down. I have to write a time this time. Hurricane fund. Yes. Even though, Mark, you need a hurricane fund. I think you're more in the path now than I am. Mark, be safe. Mark is in the middle of the state, which looks like where this lovely thing is going in. I finally found where I was, so I am happy. Let me write it down in case I give Mark a dolphin and it jumps me again. Here you go, Mark. Mark, be safe. Mark, you're more in the pathway than I am now, so please be safe. Here you go. I wrote it down and then it still scrolled me. Scrappy Stamper says, promoting your item. Each has its own suggested as a fee. Is that what you use? And does it make a difference in the help eBay gives you? I assume they mean like as far as like how much you're getting bumped up.
So promoted listings, I do 2%. My whole channel, it teaches you how to use these different tools and then look at your analytics because we all sell different things. We all have different business models. I'm in women's fashion. It's heavily, 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 heavily saturated. So I need all the help that I can get. But the video that I do on my channel shows you how to set them up and then figure out the analytics behind to see if it works for you. Does it make a difference? So what promoted listings does, it not only bumps you at the top of a search, but it puts you in over, I think it was like 30 places they said at eBay Open. It puts you in over 30 places on eBay as well in Google. So like when you're looking at someone's listing and at the bottom it says other listings like this, if your item's promoted, it'll go there. Or when you're looking on eBay and it's like, you may also be interested in this, it's going to put you there. So it's not just about the search, it's about all of the different places on eBay. Again, it's going to matter what you sell and at what rate you should do it at. Like I said, I'm fashion. And so there's a ton of it. I need all the help I can get. If you're selling collectibles and you are the only one on there, you probably don't need to do it.
Yeah, I try to do trending rate plus 2%. And I'll tell you the one thing that will make the biggest difference is if you have everything promoted and you do the biggest like bonehead thing that I did and end them all, because like,
eBay will smack you.
Yeah, they sent me a tombstone. They were like, "You are dead to us."
They do not like that.
It took 3 days to get one sale, and that was because a friend bought out of my store. I was like, and it's funny because I was talking, I was actually talking with Angie Resales, and she said she accidentally forgot to restart hers on a Sunday, and the same thing happened. So if you ever are promoting, do not ever think you're going to be cool and go cold turkey and stop promoting.
Just like drop it down little by little and then turn it off. Because if you go from promoting pretty strong, I had to put cough drops in my mouth. If you go from promoting pretty strong to nothing, it will hurt. I promise you, I've done it as well.
I feel like I've never recovered from it. So the biggest thing you want to do is not do that. Like Sarah said too, if you have, like I do a lot of vintage and I still promote, but I mean, there's a lot of those items that I could probably get away with ending the promotions on, but now I'm just terrified to do it. So eventually
years later.
Yeah,
I did it once and I will never do it again.
Yep, I'm with you.
I always pick and choose what I promote and how much. I always go in and see how many of the item I have are listed, how many have sold. So if I have just the only one of this item on eBay, I'm not going to promote it because that's just, it's giving away money. If somebody's looking for that item and I have the only one, there it is. But like Rachel and Sarah said, if you're in a heavily saturated market like fashion or electronics, something like that, you do want to promote. And it depends on the specific item, but as Rachel said, 2% over has usually worked for me in a market where there's heavily saturated. What it does, it puts you at the top of the list, puts you on the first page, gets more eyes on your items. And then not only do you get more eyes on that item, but you get more eyes on your store because people think, oh, she's got this. What else does she have? So yeah, I try to use it on at least a couple items at a time.
And I promote everything at trending plus 3%. So I go a little bit higher than Rachel does. But I want to point out too, just because you promote it doesn't mean it'll sell promoted. Probably it's close to 40% sell non-promoted of mine, which means they organically clicked it. It wasn't because of being bumped up or being put in suggested. So just because you promote it doesn't mean everything will sell as promoted. But I would expect about half, if not more. Jewelry is saturated just like clothing. So when I've done jewelry, I've had to promote really high, like 12 or 15%, which was okay because I got a lot of it for $1 or $2 and selling it for 30. So that extra, 15% wasn't like a deal breaker. But that's why I'm excited to sell the jewelry on Whatnot too, because I can show it and have more interaction versus letting it sit. Like it can be really long tail on eBay if it's not like a named maker and a really popular piece. There's so much jewelry and a lot of it is not from the US. A lot of the competition comes from overseas. So that can be really, really hard. but I think I would probably get half as many sales if I was not promoting. I do want to say that. So I pay a little more, but I make a lot more sales because of it. Miss Belinda wants to know if any of us have done drop shipping.
So I looked at eBliss, which would be similar-ish, right? Where you send it to them and then they would ship it. Like I would source it, but not like an official. I looked into them, and my average sale price wasn't high enough to make it worth it to me. But nothing other than that.
It's funny you asked that because I haven't looked into it, but I feel like I'm about to look into it more because my 16-year-old, he's such a daggum entrepreneur, is down here on the computer. He's like, well, I set up a website to start drop shipping. I'm like, who are you watching all the time? And so I think, I don't know, we might start some random business endeavor. That could be its own video series. I have mixed feelings about it. I feel like if it's quality sourced items, but I don't want to just like slap a brand name on any random, I'm sorry, but lead-based piece of crap that's going to fall apart. I don't want my name on that because there's a lot of like private labeling that goes with drop shipping and you never see the product. And so just be careful since you do never see the product. I don't mind when drop shippers buy from me though. I know a lot of resellers care and they're just resellers too on like even a higher level. Like there's room for everyone to make money. I don't care. You bought my item. You can buy all my items and ship them wherever you want to. So the more drop shippers, I haven't done it, but I feel like we're about to.
I haven't done it. I'm not comfortable with it just because I like to have complete control over my eBay store and what I sell. I've had my eBay store over 20 years and it's just so easy for one little mistake to bring the whole thing crashing down. So it's just something I haven't dabbled in at all.
Yeah, so the only time I have done drop shipping is when I sell something and I can't find it. So I will buy it from another reseller and have them send it to my customer. I know drop shippers buy from me. I would not want to do that for my business model intentionally. I have done it because I want to make sure my customer gets the item. Sometimes I pay more than I made just to make sure they get what they bought from me. And it's probably been like 3 times over the past year that I have done that. But I know a lot of people do it with electronics. I don't know how they're doing it. I've had a lot of Shop Airlines sales lately, which they sell to buyers in Japan, like our listings. And we had 3 this month from Shop Airlines, which is essentially a drop shipping company to Japan. So I've been on the other end of it. I'm with Tiffany. I would be a little too scared if I'm never seeing and touching, and I would be very, very worried about it. But I have a good friend who does Amazon private label and sells over $1 million a year, but he's getting examples and touching and feeling it, and then they're mass producing the stuff. So he is touching it. But for me, that's kind of redundant and boring. And I'm not all about the money. I want to have fun and enjoy what I'm doing too. So I have not pursued that because my friend would totally help me if I wanted to do that, but I don't. Miss Lori says, after you source, what is your process? And do you immediately catalog and prep it for listing? Or I'm assuming that means does it sit until you get to it?
So my process, everything gets hung up right away because I don't steam. Like I don't just hate it, I just won't do it. So everything gets hung up so that there's little to no wrinkles right when it comes home. And then I go in and make a little, I don't think I have one, but a little Post-it note that has my cost of goods SKU on it with my cost of goods for the sourcing spot, as well as how much I paid. And it goes in front of my inventory, or like back here, I put it with the shoes. Everything goes into like all the dresses together, all the jeans together, all the shoes together. And then when I'm ready to ship, or when I'm ready to take photos, I do in batch work so that it's quicker. And then once I have my cost of goods SKU, I put it with my inventory, put it away, and then I enter that into my financial workbook. So then when something sells, that cost of goods SKU is in my report that I download, and it connects. So I know what my cost of goods is with what I sold. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sometimes I list mine in the car on the way home. I'm just kidding. I've got stuff over here that I went to the bins with Kristen, a rural squirrel, like girl like 2 months ago, and I haven't got it out of the bag. It's unfortunately how you get a death pile, and I recently traded in my death pile over on my channel for a new Bronco, and I don't need another car, so I can't get a death pile. So no sourcing right now. I list the most exciting stuff first. Sorry, that's not the good professional answer that you probably need to hear. Go with what Sarah said, but it's the truth. If I sourced some Louis Vuitton or I don't know, Gucci, or well, Gucci's going in my closet, but I'm excited about listing that stuff. It's going to get listed immediately, and then it kind of trickles down from there. And then somehow the smallest stuff kind of accumulates in a pile too. Don't do this. This is not advice. I'm just answering the question. And you know, eventually you got to be real with yourself and list everything that you bought and stop. I am decent about that though. I'll put myself on a sourcing freeze often and say nothing else until I've listed everything.
Are you in Colorado?
No, I'm in Missouri. Yeah, no, she came to St. Louis.
Okay, because right, because I'm in Colorado with her, and I have a hard time sourcing. So I was like, if you have too much, you can like give it to me. Like I have the opposite problem. I was like scheming together here, but
yeah, with too much stuff here. Look at that handsome guy.
Say hi, Jake. This is Jake. This is my youngest. So were you done, Rachel?
Yeah, go ahead.
Pre my YouTube channel, I was way more organized. I would thrift, I would come home, I would clean and remove tags, and I would take photographs and sit in front of the TV and list. And then came YouTube, and I have rather a large pile because I'm thrifting twice a week for my channel, and it doesn't leave a whole lot of time with the editing and the selling directly from my videos, which is a beautiful thing. It means I don't have to take pictures or write descriptions. Things get sent to lovely new homes directly from the videos. And now, hopefully, with Whatnot, it's going to be easy to send things on because they do the bulk of the work. They do the invoicing, and I just have to pop it in a box and slap the label on it.
Yeah. So for me, if it is expensive, high dollar stuff, it is coming out of the truck. It is going on my counter, and it is getting photographed and listed most times within 24 hours. Like if I paid $100 or more for one item, you're going to see it on my eBay store really fast. And if I don't, I use banker boxes. I'm getting ready to get some more. We've made really, really good progress through the death pile. I'm being a little more picky. So I put stuff into bankers boxes. Even when I pick up from online estate sales, put it in bankers boxes, but I'm running out of room for bankers boxes. So I've got to figure out how I'm going to kind of recycle that, because now I have a lot of, half full bankers boxes, which is hard. So I almost need to get like totes or something and write what box it'll go in for my listers. So I need to, like, as we're running out of banker box room, I've got to figure out a new process, because when I pull, I remember like, oh, that box is almost empty. But so I need to figure out something for that as far as like new inventory coming in. Maybe buy, like I said, totes like the half a size of a banker's box, where I'm like, okay, this can go in this banker's box. My cat is meowing very loudly. Do you see him?
I can hear him. Oh.
He's like sitting there, like very loudly.
He knows this one's
He's yelling
coming
at me. He's like, hello. So put them in the banker's boxes. I will sometimes pay my listers double if it's high dollar stuff and I'm like, I want it up now. I'll say, okay, for these boxes only, I will pay you twice as much, which makes them more motivated to get them done faster. But I don't catalog anything. I send everybody that wants spreadsheets to Sarah because I don't do them. My inventory is just once it's listed in the eBay catalog. So mine go into the banker's boxes, get listed, and get put away. I just found some stuff from Alabama, which I think I went to Alabama over 6 months ago. And I'm like, oh, I forgot that I got this at the thrift store. So it's been, because we're making progress, I'm finding all this old stuff I forgot I had. And then all my new stuff that I'm thrifting for my new YouTube channel, 90% of it goes into thrift boxes and it gets sent out the next Monday. So it doesn't pile up. But I recorded 4 videos last week and I leave it in my car until I make the video haul. So my car is full, but we've been using my husband's truck to go everywhere. So I use my car as a storage now. My car is like a storage unit. Dolphin for the ladies' night. Listen, guys, I didn't call it that because the one time I made the mistake of calling it that, we got so many spammers and like not fun ones because I called it ladies' night. So now I don't put that. I did it one time and I learned my lesson. All right, Richard, here is your dolphin. Who did it shut off early? I feel like it shut off early. Or no? Am I going crazy? I might be going crazy. Diane says, did anyone attend the eBay Open? Do you have thoughts on it? And she says, I feel like I've learned more from these lives than I did at the 3 days of the Open. And I saw Julian. She saw Julian on the eBay Open.
I did attend the eBay Open. I spoke at the eBay Open on data and analytics and tools that you can use. I think there's a good information that comes out of both of them. A lot of it was keynote speakers and things that are going to come out that you could just watch a quick highlight, recapped on YouTube or even follow someone's stories and you could figure out all of that stuff. I think part of what's missing in the eBay Open is the networking with other people, and doing it virtually, you just don't really get that. I didn't, because I was involved in it. I didn't get to, I had to be in my session when all the other sessions are going on. So I haven't actually seen any of the sessions. I heard there was a couple good ones, but some of them are, a lot of times they have sellers that come on that don't have presentation skill. This isn't what they do for a living. And so sometimes it doesn't come across well, is what I've heard, but I haven't watched any of them because I was presenting. I did get an email right before I came on here that all of their stuff is on their eBay for Business YouTube channel. So if you did miss the eBay Open and there was a session like mine that you wanted to watch, or any of the other sessions, the keynote, it is on the eBay Open.
Yeah, I registered, and then I even pulled it up, and I was sitting in the floor listing in the living room, and then my dad called, and that just sounded so much more interesting to me. And so I talked to my dad on the phone because it was their opening part. It was just going to kind of go in slow, to be honest with you. But here's the thing. There were so many people on Instagram giving you the cliff notes. I felt like I didn't even need to be there. And so I got all the information I needed to, scrolling through Instagram later, and I still got to talk to my dad. So no, I agree with Sarah. If it was in person, I would be there. I'm so extroverted. I would be shaking all y'all's hands and hanging out, and probably I would have to sit in the front row because I just want to I want to learn stuff, but I like to be there in person. So if they go back to in person, I think I could probably attend.
I didn't attend either. I was planning to go to Katie and Vicky's bash at their home, but I had a kid thing, I had a dog thing, long story. So I wasn't able to get there. But I agree with Rachel and Sarah. Back when it was an in-person thing, it was so much more valuable because you met so many people, made so many connections, made friends, learned just the ins and outs, little tricks, little tips. And I have friends that I met at my first in-person eBay Open years and years ago that I still have. So hopefully, we'll go back to in-person ones. I'm going to the Boss Reseller Remix here in Vegas in a couple of weeks. Excited about that because it's in person. So yeah, if you can attend conferences, that's definitely the way to go.
Yes, and I, in a week and a half, will be at the Prison to Profit convention. So I will be at one as well in person. So I'm excited about that. I am with Rachel, I signed up and I did not make it for reasons of just being super busy. But it was really funny during the Bolo session. I had like 3 people message me, Kat, they're talking about you. They're talking about you. They're recommending you. Like everybody in the chat is talking about you, which was really cool. And it was funny because they started talking about me like after the session officially ended and I couldn't get in. I like wanted to go in and like talk to people. And because I hadn't went in before the session ended, technically, I couldn't get in. So I appreciate everybody who recommended me. I thought it was cool. I like all of a sudden was getting like all of these messages. They're talking about you on eBay Open. So that was fun. I agree. It would be more about the networking stuff for me. And I didn't have the time. I've been sick and I'm so behind. I'm still not at 100%. I'm pretty close. I feel pretty good, but I've been so behind business wise because I rested, which is what I needed to do to get better. So unfortunately I did not get to go, but I'm glad to hear that you're learning a lot from the lives, because that is the point of these lives. So I'm glad to hear that. I see Miss Cece. Cece is Fab Flip Lady. She is one of my friends. Cece, like, text me and make me schedule you. Sometimes, guys, I'm so busy, you have to like tell me what to do. Message me. Cece says, help, my inventory is out of control. It's moving out fast, but I've finally grown to where I need boxes, not just shelves and everything packed away. So how do you number?
So I do clothing. So I think it's a little bit easier this because everything kind of fits nicely in the poly mailer and into these boxes. But I just number sequentially. Everything goes, I'm up to like 9,000, I think now, when each item gets a new number. I take a picture of it and send it to my VA so they know what number to put in the SKU. And then each bin has a letter on it, and the letter just goes in front of it. I think it's probably a little bit harder if you do things that aren't just clothing and purses that fit, nicely into a box, but that's my system, just sequentially.
Yeah, mine aren't numbered. Like I was talking about earlier, before, everything's in category, and I don't know, that's just I guess that's like if you're maybe left-brained and right-brained, whichever one's artistic, that's me. Like, I'm going to remember exactly where it was. And then I put the wooden bowls next to the wooden shelf, and they're in that clear bin over there. So my stuff's all by category. I always joke and say nobody could ever do my shipping if something incapacitated me. But I don't know. Maybe they could, because I'd be like, look in with the women's shirts. It looks like this. They can find it. I don't guess I'll be worried about it if I'm like in the hospital or something. I mean, it's all by type.
So I have a lot of shelves. Mine is set up Goodwill style where I can see everything. And then my favorite way to do it is to number the actual shelving unit, then number the shelf. So you can either do like A, B, C are your units, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 are your shelves, or you can do 1, 2, 3 are your units, and A, B, C are your actual shelves. It sounds like you don't have enough room to do that. So what I would probably suggest is put anything that can go flat in boxes, in boxes, and then sort of number them the same way. If you've got your shelves A, B, C, D, then go to your boxes. Your next box would be the E box, and then the F box, and then the G. The key is just to make sure you put in your eBay listing field where the item is. That is every reseller's worst nightmare, not being able to find what you need to ship the next day. So you end up tearing your inventory apart and you can't find it because that field that you should have filled in on your listing is blank.
Yes. Yeah.
But for me, shelves work because I can just see everything I have.
And I've had shelves forever, and now we're going to shelves, but we're putting the banker's boxes on the shelves. So once I sell enough off of a shelf and there's enough room, a banker's box will fit there, I am then putting that, because it's easier for my listers to give them a box and say, here, list this box. It's going to go on A5. And then they know what to put in the SKU. So it's kind of growing and figuring it out. For me, I have 3 different inventory areas. So one inventory area like each shelf section has a letter and then numbers. So A1, A2, A3. And then the second inventory section is double letters. So when I go to pull, I know, is it in this area or is it in the shed? So I have 3. So I have single letters, double letters, and for whatever weird reason in here is X. It's not double, it's not triple letters, which is really, I guess, what would have went along with my theme, but it is X's in the big shed. I'm up to like X93 in here. So I guess we'll go to X as many as will fit in here. Pig is yelling at me again. He's very vocal cat. He's very vocal cat. So that is what I do. So CC, here is your dolphin. Thank you again, Gino, and thank you, Cece. You guys check her out. She has a few videos up. She is newer on YouTube. She came to my in-person camp earlier this year, so I've met her in person. It was fun. Nicole said, I hope you are safe. Do you have to evacuate? I am safe. We do not have to evacuate, but they have put up a mandatory evacuation in my county for mobile homes, but we are not in a mobile home. We are in a site-built house. My son is in our rental mobile home next to me, and I messaged him. I'm like, "Are you want to come over?" And he like hasn't answered me, but he's born and raised Floridian too, so he might not take me up on it. But I did offer to the kid to come over to my house 20 feet away, but you know, he's 22 and he does what he wants, but I offered. But they have issued mandatory evacuations for mobile homes here, but not for houses. So we are staying put and running a whatnot sale. And you know what? Like, I might get all froggy and run another one on Thursday or Friday too. I don't know. I might be crazy like that, because what else will I be doing, right? We've been getting this question a lot, and I think it's good to get different answers from people. We are coming up on Q4. It actually officially starts in 3 days, guys. Q4 starts in 3 days. So we are pretty much in Q4 now. So what do you do to get ready for Q4?
Nothing. So my sales are actually the worst in Q4. They are the best in Q1 because I sell used women's clothing. So when everyone has Christmas money or is broke and doesn't have money but wants to shop, Q1 is always my best quarter. So I know in the reseller community, the first year I like got a whole bunch of, I think I still have boxes for the first year. I ordered so many boxes because everyone was like, get boxes. And I was like, okay. My sales go up a little bit. Q3 and Q1 tend to be my better sales. So I don't really do anything but keep on keeping on.
Yeah, get boxes. Seriously, go get boxes. Especially if you sell like random. I do so many hard goods. I need every single size box. I need mattress pad because Walmart keeps selling out of that, and that's what I use instead of bubble wrap for like highly fragile items. If you haven't already listed Halloween, you better get it done today. Don't go to bed without listing your Halloween. That's a Q4 thing. Get all of your toys, anything that is new in package that would make a good gift. Consider going in, and if you have like some extra space as a keyword, write the word gift in your title. How many times have you been looking for Mother's Day gift and you literally type that in? Type in gift, like use it as a keyword. And then expect delays. Angie Resell said that best last week. She said, expect delays. Tell your buyers, that there may be delays, prep your speech for when your buyers reach out and are like, it's been 12 days. Why isn't my stuff here? Familiarize yourself with USPS is going to take longer. USPS has a price increase. So another thing to do to prep for Q4 this year is make sure you have a pirate ship account, because pirate ship is in most cases not transferring that USPS increase to us. Now there are, I think, going to be a few instances where they are going to have to go ahead and transfer that to us. But if you don't already have a pirate ship account, it's 100% free. It's typically the same discount as eBay, except for times like this. And this is the first year I've seen that they're not giving us that price increase. So do that. Go get a pirate ship account and list your Halloween today.
Absolutely great advice. And seriously, get boxes. Absolutely. Order post office boxes. Go into your account now and order double what you think you need, honestly, because if you don't, you're not going to get them until mid-January. And tape. Make sure you have your tape, get your eBay store, and get your your free $25 towards supplies. Like Rachel said, list your holiday stuff today. List it now. Got to get it up. Gosh, these girls covered everything. I'm used to being first or second.
Yeah, I know. All the answers are taken by the time it gets. That's why Julian always says, "Yeah, what they said."
What they said, yeah.
Just tell them to list fruitcake and they'll be fine.
Yeah. So I agree as far as like the USPS boxes. I haven't had issues with getting like other regular boxes. The free boxes do get backed up. I am like Sarah. I do not get a bump in Q4. Our sales actually maintain throughout the year. Just because we sell such a mix of stuff, I don't typically see a bump in Q4. So it's kind of business as usual for us. But I do know that like, and I agree with Tiffany, I probably order like double what I would of the USPS boxes because I know they could get backed up. But that's not for a bump in sales for me. That's because I know I might order it and it might take a month to get here and then I'll have to pay for boxes, which I would much rather use free boxes. Rachel Nettles says, which platform is best for selling linens?
Pass.
I'm gonna tell you it could be eBay and Poshmark both, because here's like I've sold linens on both, and Poshmark has like kind of trendy buyers as far as like a Roseanne style Afghan or something like that, and then really heavy bedding. As long as it's under 5 pounds, they're getting a heck of a daggum shipping rate over on Poshmark. So they might go to Poshmark to try to get under $8 shipping, whereas over on eBay it's going to be calculated. They may pay $12 or $20 for like a comforter or something. But I do sell some linens, and I will tell you though, most of the linens I sell are vintage, like stuff that you really can't find anymore, and that is why I will always list them on eBay, because if you're looking for something that you can't find in the store, where are you going to go? You're going to go look on eBay. So eBay and Poshmark.
Yeah, I don't really sell many linens, just maybe some collectible ones, like Rachel said. And like she said, Poshmark is great because if it's up to 5 pounds, your buyer pays $7 and change flat rate. I might suggest, if I was looking for vintage linens, I might check Etsy. So that could be a possibility too.
Yeah, so ours sell best on eBay, and I sell a lot of vintage linens, and they are listed on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and Etsy, and eBay by far outsells the rest of them. But we do have them sporadically selling on the other platforms. So if you're cross-posting, I would say put it on all the platforms you put it on, because you really never know where it's going to sell. Ours, we get the most sales on eBay. Jane wants to know, on Poshmark, do you list an original price for your clothing, or do you list 0 as the price if it's not new with the tags?
I do the original price if I know it like within a range, and I do mostly the same items, so I know mostly how much they are. If it's something like vintage, I usually do $9.99 just because it gives you a higher suggested price to list it at, and then it just looks like they're getting a better deal. For some reason, I feel like a while ago they said not to do 0, but I think that's changed. I don't think anyone really cares. I don't know. I'm interested to hear what you guys say.
I do 0 every single time. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm not trying. That's another number for me to figure out for every listing. Like, I don't want to know what this Anne Klein top cost originally. And then I think as a buyer on Poshmark, that is such an irrelevant number, because I've seen it be grossly off and I've seen it be under, and I can't even say I look at it. I want to know how much you want for your item. And I think that's what most buyers want. So like, don't put too much thought into it, Jane. Just put 0.
I always put, like Sarah does. Well, Sarah said she puts $9.99 because it's all about perceived value. If your buyer's shopping around and they see original price $9.99, it gives the impression that it's expensive or it's hard to find or you're not going to find another one. If you're, like Rachel said, if you're taking the time to think about it, oh, how much is it worth? It's taking valuable seconds, and it's probably not going to do you any favors. If it's the original price of, say, $25 and you're asking $12, and your buyer's thinking, oh, that's half price, is that really a good deal? Whereas if it's $9.99 and you're asking $12, then it's automatically a really good deal.
I am with Rachel. I put 0 on everyone. And I put 0 on everyone because I'm not the one doing it. My 72-year-old mother is, and that would be horrible to try and tell her, Mom, try and figure out a no, just put 0 and move on. So that is what we do. We put 0. Pam wants to know, why do so many sell items with free shipping? What is the upside of doing this? And I don't know if any of us do. So if we do free shipping, let's say we do free shipping, and why? And if you don't, what do you think the upside could be?
So for eBay Open, I went to eBay headquarters for a week for prep, and then also to talk with executives and learn from them and tell them things that we wanted to see in eBay. And one of the very few things that they will tell you about the algorithm is free shipping is in the algorithm. And they don't tell you anything's in the algorithm. And they did say that free shipping is in the algorithm. That being said, I do not do free shipping. So it can give you a bump because it is in the algorithm. Reasons to do it, as people are looking on eBay, you know, they're filtering down on the left, and one of the buttons they can push is free shipping. So if people are searching for free shipping, your listing will come up if you have free shipping on it. I think, again, it goes into what you sell and what your competitors are selling. I do clothing, and it's like maybe 20% of people are doing free shipping, and shoppers are smart. And there's also a filter at the top that says lowest price plus shipping. So if you have shipping, but you have a competitive price and it's still less than, buyers know that free shipping means that we're just putting it in our price. And so there's enough smart
them. Some of them. Some just think it's free.
Right. And so, but I think it goes to your competition. And I have a video where I tried free shipping and I showed you the results on what it did to my sales and did it actually impact it, so that you can try it and look at your analytics and your results, because I think it's going to matter for everybody. And if my stuff isn't very heavy, so it was worth it. But if you're doing free shipping on something that costs you $75 or, you know, all these really heavy items, these are things that you have to consider when you do it.
Yeah, I think if your business is selling cell phone chargers or can koozies, like add the extra $3 into your price, like Sarah said, and just, show up in those search results. But like, I have 2 vintage typewriters listed and I can't even do flat rate shipping on those. I even have to do calculated, because the second I don't, someone in Oregon's going to buy one. I had someone in Alaska buy. Yes, they bought like an empty VHS box. They weigh nothing, but they're big. And someone in Alaska bought it, and I didn't check it out. I sent them the daggum box, and it, like, I think I made $2 pre-cost of goods, and the thing cost me $1. So, luckily I was still in the green, but barely. So, just like she said, it depends so much on what it is that you're selling and what your competition is doing. Don't get too caught up in free shipping just because eBay wants to see it. eBay wants to see it because who is their main competitor? Amazon. And you can get all the free shipping that you want over there. So don't, like, at the end of the day, treat your business like your business. This is your business, not eBay's. Although we're not independent on our own website, you have to keep in mind that even some things on the algorithm are what's best for eBay. They would also like for you to do free returns and fast and free shipping and so on and so forth. A lot of things that don't necessarily work for your store. Figure out what works for you and sell that way. For me, it's not free shipping on most items, especially when first class is starting at like $350 now.
Absolutely. Excellent advice. I only do free shipping on items that are under 12 ounces usually, because after 12 ounces, it jumps from about $3.50 to up to $6. So after that, I do calculated shipping because there's a huge variance. For me in Vegas, if I'm shipping to California, something's going to be maybe $8, and I'm shipping to New York, it can be up to $20, $25. So on an item that I'm listing with calculated shipping, I'm much more likely to sell it for $8 shipping to somewhere closer, like California or Arizona or even Texas, than I am to ship it to the East Coast. So I'm more likely to get the sale and make more money than if I do perceived free shipping.
Yeah, and I have the opposite problem on the East Coast, going to Vegas and going to California and going to Washington State and Oregon. So I think the people that live in the middle of the country have a very, very big advantage. Yes, because if you're in the center and it's going to cost close to the same, I think that you might be able to pull it off. However, if you are like Tiffany or like myself and in one of the corners of the country, then it's very hard and you could lose money really fast. So I used to do it on my first class items. I don't anymore. I think Amazon's created this culture that really believes shipping is free, and it is not. Somebody is paying, and I feel like it's important for buyers to know, like, I will write them back because they're like, I'll pay this with free shipping. And I'm like, hey, I have to pay for the shipping. I don't make any money on it. That's what it costs. So I think it's kind of important to educate people on that, because if everybody went to free shipping, like, people get it in their mind, and especially people that are using Amazon a lot, because they're not paying for it. So they feel like it's free, even though Amazon, I'm sure, loses a lot of money on shipping, because I'll pay $4 for something that I know costs them more than that to ship it to me.
But you know, they have a deal with USPS. Like, they have a contract with them, and USPS is the one losing the money. It's nuts.
Because they're such a big volume,
but,
right? And we're not
like,
big volume, right? We're all small businesses.
That's the thing. Like, we are not Amazon. Like, we are not big. And I think people need to realize that. So I always write back, hey, offer what you're willing to pay, figuring in that you're paying shipping. Like, I don't want them to think the shipping is free. So I don't even do it on my first class items anymore. But Sarah did a good job summarizing up, like, the sorting. And I think if you're a smart buyer, you would sort it lowest price with shipping. And I will beat people out a lot of times with free shipping on those. And that's how I search myself when I am looking to buy. We have a question for Tiffany. T. Brooks says, Tiffany, what do you use? I think they mean to kill all the noise in Goodwill. They said they've noticed in your videos there's very little background noise.
So the Goodwill I most often go to has nightclub loud music. It's literally like you're walking into a club. You cannot carry on a conversation. It's impossible. So all my videos in that Goodwill are voiceover. As I'm filming, I'm going in my head, say, I'm pressing it head. When I get home, I can just go through my video. Not here, Goodwill. It's voiced over. When I'm in Hearts Alive, when I'm in Savers, when I'm at the flea market or the swap meet, that's all live. But in my favorite Goodwill, it's impossible. It's decibels loud, that music.
Yeah, I wish that I could do live and not have to do voiceover, because having to voiceover thrifting videos takes so much longer to edit. Like, I go through, edit the whole thing, and then I go back and do my voiceover. So it takes a long time. I wanted to put this up. Chris said sub to Rachel. Rachel's only 120 away from 10K, guys. We have 550 people in here. If 120 of you are not subscribed to Rachel, go
make my dreams come true.
Rachel Strickland. She only needs 120 of you. Go, go, go. Somebody update me. Go, go, go. We have 45 minutes to get Rachel to 10K. So let's do it. We can do it. We can do it. Yes, don't forget, if you're not signed up for Whatnot, Richard dropped it. I have where you get $15 free to spend. Why would you not want $15 free? You do have to pay the shipping. You do have to pay the shipping. But you can get $15 worth of stuff for free and just pay the shipping. And most of my stuff tomorrow is going to be $2 or $5 starts. So you could get like 3 pieces of jewelry.
I'm so going to be there.
I have some amazing stuff. And I showed a reel on Instagram because I got these in after I had cataloged, and I have amazing Zuni fetish necklaces. I have 14 of them, and I'm having them in the background. So if people want them, I will run them. I will add them to my catalog and run them. I'll have to start them at $30, but there are some amazing
like Zuni
ones.
tribe turquoise and stuff.
Yes. I have my favorite one's an owl. It has a fetish owl that's like 2 inches as the center stone. And then it's got other animals. and I wanted Dalton to love it because it's a shorter necklace, and he put it on for 2 seconds. He's like, no, I don't like it, but he'll wear like the pink. He has a pink beaded happy birthday necklace he wears everywhere. And I really wanted him to like that. And he said no. So that one is available. So I figured people could look at them while I'm switching items. And then if you see one you like, then just tell me and I'll run it. And we'll add them in. And I have my daughter. My daughter's going to help me. My daughter's going to help me because we're going to be like having to move stuff and all of that. So yeah. This is not a question. I think this is a statement, but Diane said, Sarah, your session at the Open was awesome. Thanks for all the great info. So I wanted to put that up there.
Thank
and
you.
Donna said she was subscribed to everyone but Sarah, but she went over there and subscribed. So thank you guys for checking these ladies out. We appreciate you. Letitia's asking, do you need separate bank accounts to sell on multiple platforms?
No.
Thank God
And I
you
think
don't.
that answers it.
Is there one?
I think that's an answer. No, because your business stuff should all go into one account. So you really should not have separate accounts for that.
And you should have a business account.
You should have a separate from your personal. Correct. French Pug Love wants to know, Tiffany, what is your whatnot name?
It's Thrifting Vegas, just like my YouTube. Yep. Thank you.
Guys, for mine, you have to put the Nurse Flipper. Several people have messaged me and can't find me because they put Nurse Flipper. You have to have the V. I am like exactly like you see it on this channel, because if you don't put the V, then you cannot find it. Patty wants to know if any of us are going to be in the estate sale extravaganza on Whatnot.
Estate is like my main category on Whatnot. But no, I'm not going to be part of the extravaganza.
I don't do Whatnot. I haven't. It seems like a lot.
You would love it. You have the personality for it. You should give it a go.
It's the behind the scenes, and I don't like. Kat has to have her daughter help. Like that. Just like
I don't think I have to, but I'm crazy and doing 100 items, Sarah. That's why.
Sarah,
Getting it all set up. I don't know. I signed up for a Poshmark is doing their lives, and I was like, okay, I'll
the
sign up
live
for that
thing,
because I know Poshmark.
I didn't
Right?
know that.
Right.
So I said I don't have a date yet, but I will try it there. It's more the behind the scenes that I'm like, I don't want to. I've done one YouTube live and it was like pure chaos. I wanted to like puke out.
Well, see that you have to invoice yourself, and it's a lot of work. So I'm thinking Whatnot should be a lot easier. That's my thought on it.
Yeah, but they don't have like my thing is like the behind the scenes too. Like on Poshmark, I can pull a report for what sold for my financial like.
Oh, the
And
spreadsheet.
like Whatnot. Yes, right. There we go.
I got you.
Sarah,
Okay.
you're the most organized person I've ever met.
It's because I don't work a lot. I work under 20 hours, and I did over 6 figures last year. So I want to like time is money here, and I make the best out of it all.
Oh, Tiffany, we didn't finish answering, Katie, but leave it there. Don't take it down. Tiffany, are you going to be in the estate sale?
Extravaganza.
Thing?
No, I'm
Yeah,
not. I just actually got approved, and I took the class that you have to do before you are allowed to schedule your
onboarding.
Your onboarding, exactly. Yes, I did that, and I took the quiz and I passed. So yeah, I scheduled my first sale. It's on Sunday at 1 my time, 1 Pacific time. So I'm
gonna
not.
find
I
you
wish
right
I was
now, so I
part
don't
of the
forget.
extravaganza, but I'm not. Maybe next time.
You are better than me. I did my onboarding in March, and I'm having my first sale 6 months later.
Didn't they tell you, Kat? Didn't they tell you you had to schedule it in 2 weeks?
They did, but
Oh,
Kat's kind of a
I
big
didn't
deal.
listen.
They let her get away
but
with
yeah,
it.
Kat gets $15 for people to spend. Everybody else gets 10.
I'll talk. Tiffany, maybe we can get you that. But yes, I do get 15, and most people do have 10. So that's why you need to sign up with my link. Just saying.
Sign up with Kat.
365 Vintage Hunter sent another super chat. Thank you so much. And said there are so many of us that have been an influence to many of the audience as resellers and YouTubers. Thank you so much. We are very, very happy. All of us are here to help. And And I love getting the different personalities because like I'm anti-spreadsheet and she's like pro-spreadsheet. And, you know, like I send everybody that asks about spreadsheet, I'm like, look for Sarah Styles. Like, that's what I tell them. Like, don't go to Kat, you know, but we each have our own strengths. You know, I think mine is like the buying thing. Like I'm great at buying and finding deals and lots and and keywords, but I'm not so great at spreadsheets. I pay somebody to spreadsheet for me. I don't do it. All right, here is your Geno Dolphin, the Geno Dolphin. Every time I'm like,
I know, I want like a pina colada or something. Though. Like,
I should get a prop one and be like, Bradford wants to know, did I fire Julian? I did not fire Julian, but everybody's going to think that I did. So Julian has been sick for 3 weeks. I'm hoping he will come back next week, but I will tell you in 2 weeks, he will be on vacation for 2 weeks and he will be gone again. So he's going to be gone for like 6 weeks. So everybody's really going to think I did, but I'm not firing him. Nancy says she told me if I was prepared, Ian would turn. He did turn, but he could turn back towards me tomorrow, guys. Hurricanes are very unpredictable until right before they're hitting. Any little shift in anything can make them go crazy. And yes, Jim is, I am on the driest side. I am on the left side of the storm. Always the right side of the storm gets the worst weather. So luckily for me, like I said, not for South Florida. So be safe, guys. Be safe. LaDonna says they went through Katrina, 30-foot storm surge came through. Not worth saying. Yeah, if you're a direct hit, get out of there. Get out of there. Be safe. That is the most important thing. It was, so Donna, it did say we were direct hit as of the 8 a.m. and then the 11 a.m. it just went all wonky. And overnight it might go all squirrely again. So I'm not feeling like I'm 100% safe. Julian has just been sick, Joe, and for the rest of you, he has been sick. He was not feeling well and he was still having some headaches. So looking at the screen and the computer and the camera for this long, he just is not ready to come back. So hopefully he'll come back at least 1 week before vacation. So you guys really don't think I fired him. But you know, yeah. Hold on, I'm scrolling. Yes, Mark posted up my new YouTube channel. I am over 4,500 subscribers now. I'm super happy with it. It is all thrifting videos, and I have some good ones coming up. I have 3 already ready to edit, and I'm trying not to want to put up more than 1 a week because I have 3 right now, but I really want to keep that channel to 1 a week and minimal, like, so I can edit them a little bit fancier, take a little more time and not feel rushed. That is why I'm trying to hold myself. I will not promise that I will not increase it from 1, but I'm trying not to increase it from 1 a week because I do 3 a week on this channel. I will tell you, I might drop the nurse flipper down to 2 a week, considering I'm doing 1 a week over on the new channel. So that might be a change coming very, very soon. Becky wants to know, do we all take our pictures from our phone or do we use a camera?
I use my phone. I have the newest. I think it's the newest, or maybe they just came out with a new one. But the iPhone has like a very legit camera.
I want to pop this up because it has to do with it really quick, Sarah.
Oh, yeah.
Because Bradford's asking, if you use your phone, do you use the built-in camera app or do you download a different one?
So I use an iPhone. I use the camera that comes with it. I also have a Mac, and so then it just syncs to my Mac, and all my photos are on my computer as well. So that's what I do.
I use my phone also, and I always have. I tried to use my YouTube camera once because I just got the camera and I was so excited and I wanted to really like get my money's worth. And I was like, what was I thinking? Because I was trying to get the memory card in there and it was a mess. Your phone is more than sufficient. Like phones today have such amazing cameras. I will tell you that if you will just adjust the white balance, you're going to be like, wow, I don't even need like, background, you don't even have to necessarily have an all white background. So on an Android, you will click on what's called Pro Photo. Whenever like it comes up panoramic, food, so on and so forth, click on Pro. And on Apple, I've heard that there's an app called Pro Photo or Pro Camera or something like that really gives a lot of white balance. Because like especially dark items are really hard to photograph. If it's a pair of dark jeans, it's just going to look like all blacked out. But if you'll adjust the white balance is when you can suddenly see like details and everything and get like a true gray. Or if you're like, that looks orange, but I know it's pink, adjust the white balance. Like that's the trick.
In the iPhone app, there's like a white balance that you can, like, if you like click on it, you can just go up and down with it.
Perfect.
So I have 2 light boxes. I have one with the black background and one with the white background set up. I got that trick from Jocelyn, Crazy Lamp Lady, because when you take the background out, it creases it. And if you keep doing it, it ruins it. So 2 light boxes. I take all my pictures for eBay with my phone through the eBay app. So you don't even need to drag them and drop them, put them in there. They're already there in each listing. And then what I do is I just go into the computer and tweak the first picture with their photo editing to make it nice and white and bright and crisp, and Google search friendly with the crispy background. And that's my speedy process for that.
So here you are going to get 4 different answers. So Sarah has her spreadsheets. I am OCD about my pictures and photo room. I like white background on every single photo. I edit every single photo. I want it perfectly white. I want my item floating. I was a professional photographer before I was a nurse, so I really want them to look good. So that is my OCD thing. I just think it makes them look more professional, but I've seen some amazing setups with like the wood grain and different stuff. And I agree as far as the black background. I actually don't do anything on a black background anymore though. Everything gets edited to full white. I used to do a lot of black, but I stopped. So all of my listers are taught, they take all their pictures, they edit them all with Photo Room, and then they make their listing. So there are your 4 different answers. So you need to do what works for you. And I use my phone and I then edit with Photo Room because I can do 50 photos at a time. And I do buy the Pro Photo Room for all of my listers for their phone so that they can do 50 at a time. I don't want them to have to only do 1 at a time because you can edit 50 photos with Photo Room in like less than a minute. So but do your own thing, because some people, like I said, have amazing with the wood grain background. Like do your own thing. That's me. So like if people ask me to look at their store, that is normally the first thing I have to say. Just FYI, normally the first thing. But a lot of times it's not just the background. The white balance is a really good tip. You need to make sure you have enough light so people can see your item and that you don't have a lot of shadows. You really want to just make sure the item's clear, like Tiffany was saying, and crisp. You want them to be able to see the details so they will want to buy your item. Just FYI. I'm interested to hear everybody's answer to this question. Teresa said she bought an item on eBay. She never received it. She emails them a lot, never got an answer. eBay did give her money back. Should I leave a negative review?
This is hard because we're sellers and we know what a negative review is going to do. However, if you emailed them and they just never got, like if they got back to you when they were trying to work with you, I probably would do a neutral or a positive. But if they're just completely ignoring you, I would do it for the sake of other buyers, knowing that I don't think I've ever left a negative feedback, even if it's been a bad experience, if they've communicated or I got my money back, because we're sellers, we know what it does. But I probably would in this instance if they're not even attempting anything.
Yeah, I'm not even sure that you can, to be honest with you, because you technically got a refund. And I mean, unless they changed
you
that
could, but if they're a top rated seller, and then they might be protected and your negative might be deleted.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Sarah on this one. Like, that's a lot of bad energy for me to carry around. I'll probably just move on. I left negative feedback one time, and it was because I ordered this incredibly hard to find Thomas the train set for my son, and it was like a $200 train set. And the person canceled my order, said out of stock, and then relisted it at $300. And I was furious because the market kept going up on them and they canceled my order. Like I say, said it was out of stock. And I was just like, for the sake of, like Sarah said, everyone else. And I left a negative because like, I felt like that was intentional. I miss messages sometimes, or maybe anything could have happened here. I don't know. If you can move on without leaving the negative, I do.
Me, just the way I am, I wouldn't give it a second. I wouldn't take the time to write the bad review. I just, just move on. But if it would make you feel better to leave the bad review, I would do this. Maybe take a look at the store, see if they've listed new items, because something may have happened. They may have had an accident. They may be in the hospital. It may be something out of their control. But, if they're listing and they've got more items, brand new that they've just listed and they didn't take the time to respond to you, then, if it makes you feel better, leave a bad one.
Yeah, so I'm going to kind of second what Tiffany says. I would check and see if maybe they're getting a lot and something did happen. Like if they had all good reviews and now a bunch of negatives, something really bad could have happened. But I agree with Tiffany too. If they are listing new items, well, I would leave the negative. I would leave the negative if they're listing new items. I see they're active because I would want to save other buyers. Like that seller, if something catastrophic didn't happen, is giving eBay sellers a bad name. They're not answering. They didn't ship it. You had to force a refund. I would leave the negative if there's new activity. I would go as far to investigate that because I wouldn't want to be like, oh, nothing new's been listed. They had great feedback. Now they're getting bad. That would indicate to me that something bad did happen. And in that situation, I would not leave it. But if they're a top rated seller and they refunded you, doesn't matter if you leave it or not, you're not going to see it. I think I had over 20 negatives removed. Thank you, eBay, because I refunded buyers last year. So they might be protected and it might never get seen. Just FYI. Edge City Traders, Amy says, Sarah, what thermal printer do you use with your iPhone and your Mac?
So I use a Rollo. I have a Rollo wireless that I can do for my phone that connects. I used it for the beta. They asked me to test it out. And to be completely honest, I don't like it. I don't use it. It doesn't, the wireless kind of gets spotty and then you have to like reconnect it again. I just have a Rollo that's hardwired into my old Mac that is completely about to crash. And it's only my shipping one. And it's hardwired in, but I didn't have an issue setting up a Rollo in a Mac. I think you had to like do something different, but there was instructions and it was fine.
Perfect. Thank you, Miss Amy. Here is your dolphin. I gotta keep dancing. Okay. Heidi says, what's the weirdest thing you have ever sold and made a lot of money on?
I don't sell weird things. Women's fashion. I mean, the highest price thing I probably sold, I think, was maybe $500 pair of Prada boots that I got for like $5 at the thrift store. But as far as weird goes, I mean, I think some people's fashion is a little weird, but nothing like I'm sure that you guys have.
Yeah, I sold 2 cicada shells for $10. I sold an empty gum wrapper from 1961 for $12. I sold a nickel for $10 a few weeks ago that I dug out of my pocket, a nickel for $10. But the weirdest thing is I sold a potato chip for $42.
Wow.
And I have a video about how to ship it in case you were curious how to ship the most fragile thing you could
potato
ever
chip. Yeah.
try to get across the country. It was an air puff potato chip. It had like an air pocket in it. So getting that to Atlanta because the ATL flippers actually bought that, that potato chip.
That's great.
Yeah, they kept it in a little box and they named him the ATL chipper and they would feed him salt until one day they crushed him.
That is so
I
funny.
love to sell weird stuff. I've got acorns, 6 acres of oak trees right now, and I'm gonna go get some acorns and list those. Weird sells. I sell photos on like a constant basis, people's old vacation photos, $10 a pop. Like, I mean, there's so many things that you would think were maybe garbage, like the used gum wrapper. I was listing this little boy's coat and we were cleaning out the pockets and my husband pulled it out and he was like, well, this is trash. I was like, absolutely, that's not trash. That is from the 60s. Give me that gum wrapper. Like, I will list the weirdest stuff, you guys. And it all sells.
How do I follow that? Well, I haven't got anything that weird. I sell a lot of voodoo dolls. Whenever I find a voodoo doll at a garage sale or Goodwill, absolutely, I pick that up because those sell like hotcakes. I sold a World War II pilot's canister, like ration canister, and I think that sold for $600. I think my favorite crazy weird thing that I didn't imagine it would go that high was a SpongeBob Christmas inflatable yard ornament, and that went for $350 because apparently they're really hard to find. So, Bolo.
You just reminded me, I have a Harley inflatable that I need to like plug in and blow up to take a picture of. I need to list that. That should, well, not in the middle of a tropical storm tomorrow or hurricane, whatever. So maybe next week I'll list the Harley inflatable. I don't sell a ton of weird things, but on Rachel's kind of note of things, I sold moss out of the trees. A lot of it. And I would sell it and then I would go pick it. I would sell like a flat rate box full of moss. I just go pull it down out of my trees because people sell it.
Yeah.
But why are people buying it? What are they doing with it?
Spanish moss. It's
People do
decorative.
like, they can do like driftwood displays with moss on it. They can use moss to dress like fake plants on the top. There's a bunch of things that they use it for. And then we also have lichen moss here, which is a little moss that grows on the ground. And that's used a lot for train, as bushes in the train sets. So I sold that before too. But I don't do a ton of weird, but I do a lot of random stuff like that. I quit. So as far as Rachel and like picking up the acorn, I quit selling the moss because I'm like, I can make more money like finding stuff than climbing trees and moss with chiggers and, like.
Oh, no.
So even though my whole yard, so if somebody wants to come get moss to sell, I'll let you come pick it from my yard because I didn't have a ton and I'd be like, I got to go find moss in somebody's yard. And I'm like on the side of the road picking moss. But yeah, so now I have a ton, but I don't want to do it. Belinda wants to know which app has generated the most profit for you.
Selling app, I'm assuming they're talking about, right?
That's what I would take from it.
Okay.
Yeah.
eBay by far is, I do 80% on eBay. I'm on eBay and Poshmark, and I started on Poshmark and it took me about 8 months to get eBay going. But once I got eBay consistent, it's 70-80% every month.
Yeah, I'm an eBay seller who happens to have a Poshmark and a whatnot. Same, eBay.
Same. I predominantly on eBay. Poshmark I generally use for heavier items because of the excellent $7 and change the buyer pays for up to £5.
Yeah, eBay is about 90% of my sales. And all of my items are on all of the platform. And they bring in about 10% of the sales. Joanne over on Facebook. So thank you to all of you watching us over on Facebook. We are almost up to 600 people in the chat. Thank you all. Is Rachel at 10K? Have you went and subscribed to Rachel Strickland yet?
I mean,
Somebody tell me. Let me refresh.
I'm not at 10K, but some folks did go over and subscribe.
She's only
You're not going to
70
be sorry.
70 away. We have 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Go.
it takes a minute sometimes to refresh.
Go, but come back. Don't go, but come back.
Open a second
Joanne,
window.
Yes. Joanne over on Facebook wants to know, do you do more auctions or buy it now?
I don't think I've done an auction in a year. I mean, what I sell just isn't auctionable type stuff. It's all buy it now with best offer.
Yeah, I do almost exclusively buy it now. There are a few times that I do auctions and I always forget to relist them when they don't sell. So whenever I'm like ending my listings and then selling similar, I go in there and I'm like, oh daggum, that expired like 6 months ago and I forgot to ever relist it. So that's like my huge fault on auctions. My advice to you though is that if you do an auction, start it at what the minimum is that you want to take for it, because they're not like they used to be on eBay, Joanne. So be sure that you're not starting like a 99-cent auction or something like that.
Right, I do almost exclusively buy it nows. And like Rachel said, if you're going to do an auction, start at what you want to sell the item at. I only will use an auction as a tool if I don't know what an item is worth. If I can't find it anywhere, there's absolutely nothing similar, I'm just stumped, then I'll start it high. I'll start a high auction at some crazy amount. I'll see if I get any bites. And then if I don't get anything, that tells me that it's not some super duper rare that's going to go amazingly high. So I will relist it at a buy it now or best offer and see what comes in that way.
Yeah, I do about 99% buy it now. I have some stuff. I have some antique Native American beaded baby moccasins. Those are going to be put up on auction this week. And I have 10 antique trade Indian spearheads made of iron that those will individually be listed on auction as well, because the price could go crazy. And they are pretty rare. So I will be listing those probably the end of this week. So I'll probably try and do Thursday. So they run 10 days in the next weekend. But only on really, really rare items that have a high demand. So like Native American spearheads made of iron from the early 1900s. That's something that's very, very popular. That will go on auction. So I'm putting this up. Laura and a couple other people asked how to get free shipping supplies. Sarah said she has a video under subscriber discounts. I have a video coming out tomorrow walking you through the Seller Hub, and it is on there as well, because I get asked a lot. I did a Seller Hub video probably a year and a half ago, so I thought it was time to update it. So I have a Seller Hub, like walk through my favorite things that I use on there. I go through how to make a sale, because I get asked a lot, like, how do I create a sale? So I walk through making a sale, go over the different ways by category or your whole store, and just all of the little. And I will tell you, it is my eBay Seller Hub. You are going to see my back end. You'll see my sales and my absolutely insane eBay fees. You will fall out of your chair when you see how much I paid in fees to eBay last month. It was a very high number. I will tell you that. You'll have to see, but it's all back end. You're seeing all my numbers.
It's because you made a lot of money. Like your fees are only a percentage of what you made.
Yep.
Oh, and I walk you through where to click to get an increase. A lot of this stuff will be on my video tomorrow. A lot of it will be on there. And Sarah has hers under subscriber discounts too.
Well, that's where you find it on eBay. If you go to
do you
store,
have a video though? Do you have a video on
so
it?
I have a whole playlist of eBay tutorials for all the things eBay.
Yeah, I do too.
But there's a store. If you go to your store, and then I don't want to give it away if you want people. There's going to be lots of more information in the video tomorrow too.
I know that tutorials get the least amount of views. They are long tail, so I'm fully expecting tomorrow when my video comes out,
and then it'll go higher. If you go to if you have my Seller Hub, you can go to my store, and then you go down to subscriber discounts, and then it'll take you to the site and your code.
And there's a quick link that says eBay shipping supplies now too. They made it a little bit easier.
That's good.
Bookmark all your
Christy,
stuff.
I don't know who besides me sells Christmas ornaments. Christy wants to know what's the best way to ship fragile Christmas ornaments.
Mattress pad. I'm telling you guys, use it for everything. Listen, let me plug my video real quick. I've got a video where
we're all self-promoters. We are all YouTubers, so it is okay.
This one's really worth plugging, okay? I have this glass in China and we box it up and drop it off the second story balcony. And then we throw it up against a tree. My husband and I play soccer with it and we open it up and that China is still intact. And I tell you
That's
exactly what to
amazing.
use in the video. It's on my channel and it is mattress pad. Spoiler alert. Okay. My son came up with this basically whenever they had to drop the egg, he carved out a spot in 2 sponges. And I was like, but what's spongy on a large scale that I could replicate what he did and didn't break this egg for fragile items? And I'm telling you, it's $10 for a twin size, a twin XL. And you get more than what you would spend $10 in bubble wrap. You get like more shipments out of it. It's not as expensive as you think. And it's for the super fragile stuff. So
see, ours didn't have the lower cost because we looked for it for my really fragile guy who broke in the mattress pad, by the way, $600 figurine. Just a heads up. He was in a mattress pad, then bubble wrap, then in a box, then an Instapack in another box, and it still broke.
What was he made out of?
Cheap plastic, and he's worth $600.
Get out of here. How did the thing break?
They sew, like, I was putting a cardboard tube over him to like protect the guitar, and like barely turned it and I heard snap and I'm like, are you kidding me? And then I did all of what I just told you. So I fixed it, did all of what I just told you. We got the mattress pad because Instapack's not good with like plastic stuff because it'll melt it. So we got the mattress pad, did that. Like I said, I did mattress pad, bubble wrap, box, and then Instapack around the box inside of another box, and it broke into 4 pieces.
This is why I do clothing.
Yeah, we literally, like in that video, my husband is like jumping on the trampoline and I throw him the box and he punches it into a tree and it had a glass vase and it was still fine.
Did you see Julian's? Julian did one like hitting him with the golf club. But what he did is he packed 6 teacups and 6 different things and like did them, and only one thing survived. That was a fun one too. So that's Tiffany, cool. Do you ship ornaments?
I do. I generally do glass ornaments in small bubble, then the big bubble in a box, and then I float it in a bigger box with packing peanuts. Don't hate me. I only use packing peanuts when absolutely necessary.
I have a whole box of packing peanuts, and listen, I ran out of bubble wrap for the 2nd time in 6 months. I am letting Joel at American Bubble Way down 2 times. So I got a big shipment. I can't tell you what it is because I'm using it for the finale thrift battle, October 10th against Georgie Antique Nomad. I can't tell you what was in there, but it was a giant box of peanuts, and we were out of bubble wrap, and I'm like, I'm going to get that box of peanuts. So we reuse them, but we don't buy them anymore. And Brad's like, I almost feel like we should put a note in apologizing for using these peanuts because we hate peanuts. So I sell a lot of lower end ornaments. So they're like $10, $15. So I'm not going to go through all of that. But I just use like 4 layers of medium sized bubble wrap, and I ship them in 8x6x4 boxes because most are, like egg size. And I haven't had any break. So I use the bigger bubble wrap, not the small, and just enough to fill it in the 8x6x4. And the reason for that is because I ship them first class because they're only $10 to $15. So people aren't going to pay for priority. So I don't want to add a bunch of weight. So that's what I do. I use the medium sized bubble wrap. We did get a shipment of 4 rolls. Brad's like, just leave it on every week until we have tons extra. And then you can, because what happened is we ended up with like 12 rolls of bubble wrap because we weren't selling a lot of breakables. And now the breakable sales are back up. So now I'm having to like adjust my auto shipments. It's so hard to figure out. And then I'm like, we're out of bubble. So now I will end up having 12 rolls again. And we would rather have too much than not enough, I guess. Too much than not enough. Oh, this is funny. This was right below it. Are you still using peanuts? So we just answered that, I think. Sarah's not shipping fragile. Rachel's using mattress pads. Tiffany's using peanuts. And I'm using bubble wrap. Only peanuts if I recycle them because I don't want to throw them away. So if I get them, I will reuse them versus throwing them away.
Can I just say something? Be careful with air pillows because sometimes they pop. And if you're not using something along with the air pillows like paper or something like that, if your air pillows pop in the airplane, then you might deal with the breakage. If I don't use peanuts, I use packing paper. And sometimes it has a lot to do with the weight.
Use. I went to paper, so I use paper.
It has a lot to do with the weight. Say I'm at my package weighs like 2 pounds, 12 ounces. I'm going to use peanuts in that package because I can still keep it under 3 pounds. But if I'm at, 3 pounds, 2 ounces, I'm going to use packing paper because I'm already in the 4 pound bracket, and it's not going to cost Brian any more money in shipping.
I blew up balloons once because I didn't have any air bubbles. What? If you twist them into dogs, it's like a bonus gift in the package. They don't even.
You want to hear something funny? Okay, look, Mary's sending a dolphin for Rachel to get her last 50 subs. Come on, people. We got 10 minutes.
My kindred spirit.
10 minutes. 50 of you. Go subscribe to Rachel. What I was going to say that is funny, since Tiffany said that about the pillows, guess what? I'm going to give away Julian's video. The only teacup that survived was in bubbles. Air bubbles, air cushions.
Wow.
The bubble wrap died. The packing, everything died but that, which is not right. That experiment was flawed, I think.
That's pretty crazy.
I would not use that as far as what to.
Only
Mary,
use that
you got to tell me.
Going round.
Katie, watch. Mary, tell me if Abby likes the new dolphin. I want to know if Abby likes the new dolphin. So here's this for Mary and for Abby. I need to know. Mary Garcia, tell me if Abby likes the new dolphin. Abby, I know, likes the other dolphin. I thought about like alternating them, but everybody loves Gino's dolphin. So, and I'm like dancing all night, which is good for my mood. So, yeah. Oh, wait, click it again. She's getting her ukulele out. Perfect. Yay, Abby.
That is I didn't even notice until she said that. That is a ukulele, huh?
Love it. Love it. Christine is new. Thank you for hanging out with us. Welcome. We're happy you are here. Look, I love you guys. Showing all love on is showing love. I'm so happy you're all here. How do you track the Whatnot sales? So I am going to let Rachel Strickland take this because she is the only one who has completed a sale on Whatnot. I have my first one tomorrow. Tiffany's first one is Sunday. So Rachel, can you please answer this question?
Yeah, I have a ton of Whatnot videos over on my channel, you guys. Not sponsored, but I did reach out. Listen, you cannot watch your show back. Do not depend on being able to see anything. It's gone. You'll never see that. So as far as tracking the sales, after your show is done, you click on the little profile avatar on the right side, and it'll pop up My Live Streams. And then you can click on that or click on Seller Dashboard, and it's going to bring up your last show, and all of your shipping information is there. So like our last show, we sold 18 t-shirts to 10 buyers. So it'll show like each grouping, like Kat bought 3 shirts and Sarah bought 2 shirts and Tiffany went crazy and bought 12 shirts. And so it like there's a shipping video too. And after you package up all of their items, you need to, this is so important, scroll all the way to the right and click edit label, because that's where you're going to put in the true weight of the item. Because it's just doing like the maximum weight, and you can bulk create your labels, and you can bulk, you have to confirm drop off. Kat, after you do your bulk, you can generate a scan and you have to confirm drop off, kind of like COHOST to do. So,
yeah, like confirm you shipped it or whatever.
Yeah. They, as far as tracking them for like tax purposes, they're going to 1099.
If I'm late, I click it, Sarah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I promise I'm going to ship it.
Yeah, but you have to be like 10 days late before they like start sending you nasty grams. I mean, not that that's best practice by any means.
No, sometimes mine end up like, it's like the weekend ones and Monday's really busy with eBay. So I might ship it Tuesday. So then it's been the weekend and then they'll send me a thing. And also on Whatnot, though, from what I have heard, like when you sell it, they bid, you see automatically their payments went through, right, Rachel? Like you see that payment automatically that it is approved.
And if someone's payment doesn't go through, then you need to like give them a minute to you can even go on with the next item, give them a minute. And then if it still doesn't go through, rerun that item if you want to sell it, especially if there were multiple bidders, but there can be a lot of reasons. And one of the biggest reasons people's payment doesn't go through is because they're billing the credit card for each individual thing. And like when Tiffany went crazy and bought those 12 shirts,
and it yells.
Yeah, her credit card company is like, I'm shutting this down. Someone has stolen her card and they're going nuts. And so sometimes it's just a glitch.
Listen, I accidentally bought something today, but I didn't tell him because I love her. I don't think she's in here tonight. I was trying to hit send on a chat message and I bid. I was like, oh. And then I won.
You have to be careful.
And then I bought it. And I will pay. I'm not having her cancel, but the bid is right by the send.
Yes, be careful when you guys are in Kat's chat tomorrow, because I know all y'all are going to show up. She can have 500 people in there.
No, just keep hitting it.
or she wants you to just keep chatting up. Try not to chat while the bid's going on, maybe, but be careful.
Man, I was like, and I didn't say anything. So if she's watching, then it was an accident. But then I bought something else. I was like, oh, well, I already paid for shipping. I think I want another one. I'm like, I might as well buy something else. Combine the shipping. So
I can't wait to watch your first show. You're going to kill it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. And Dalton is home, so Dalton might make an appearance because schools are closed the rest of the week because of the hurricane. So Dalton, when I planned on it while Dalton was at school, Dalton will be here. And we're doing it in the house because we will have high winds. And I want to be closer to the router. And this pecan tree, if you have heard any of my videos, this pecan tree likes to drop things on my shed. It's like right above my head. So I would prefer not to be in the shed in 30-mile-an-hour winds. I'd rather be in the house. So I've got my whole table set up in the house. I showed on Instagram my cute little setup. Emma and or Kat, wholesale is in the house. Thank you, ladies, for being here. They want to know, Sarah, are you heading to Posh Fest?
I am not. I spoke last year. I didn't apply to speak this year because I was doing eBay Open and they're like back to back. And we have 3 birthdays in October. We call it Cake-tober because we basically just eat cake all of October. So October, because the boss or reseller mix is the week after, which I mean, it's like 3 in a row. And so I picked eBay Open because they are the ones who asked me to speak at it. But I am bummed. Maybe next year I would like to meet everyone in person eventually, now that they're back to it, at least some of them.
I see 2 super chats. Beach Walker, thank you very much for all the information. You are very welcome. Thank you for being here every week. I really, really appreciate all of you guys. Here is the new dolphin that everybody loves. Gino, you are a hit. You are a hit, my friend. Except I'm going to get caught dancing every time. 365 Vintage Hunter, $20 super chat. Thank you so much for all the super chats tonight. You're amazing. Says, I'm out of here. Good night. This is for all of us. We should have a drink. Have a drink on her. We should have a drink. And watch Gino's dolphin with the martini. Thank you so much. Here is your dolphin. So Julie says, please do not blare obnoxious music during your whatnot. So I've debated. I might start with none, but I'm like, what kind of music because I listen to mostly country now.
I have a whatnot playlist on Spotify. If you just get on Spotify and type in whatnot, I already made you a playlist.
Is it obnoxious?
No, it's like Tom's Diner and the Beatles and a little Christian rap. It's fun music. It's mainly like old school stuff.
I might be talking enough and not have lulls that I might not need it. So I might try with none. And yes, Ellen, I think we are all dancing. I'm going to tell on myself. Because Gino wrote me and he said, Kat, I made my first YouTube. And I said, Gino, I'm super busy. The storm is coming. I don't have time. And it was that video. And he said, it is 8 seconds, Kat. That's what he wrote me back. I said, it better be only 8 seconds, Gino. And I went and watched it, and I felt like, I said, man, Gino. But I will tell you guys, because I get a lot of people writing me. They start channels. They want me to watch videos. I don't lie. I'm not going to do the nice. I will watch it and lie to you. I don't have time. But I felt really, really bad. I was like, man, Gino is going to be on my show coming up soon, by the way. He said he made it as a thank you for me. I've got chills, but I will tell on myself. I'm very blunt. I'm very honest, and I'm not going to lie to you and tell you I watched it and it's great when I really don't have time to watch it. But I did have time to watch. It was so funny because he's like, Kat. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, man. So I felt bad. I felt so bad. Sorry, Gino. Thank you. Yeah, guys, where are we at? Rachel, where are we at?
Yeah.
My studio says
I see
9991.
9.99.
Oh!
It's that is the first like big goal that I set for the channel, and it was like, man, I'm just like so focused on 10K, so I can't believe that it's literally about to happen. I am giving away a vintage and designer mystery box whenever it happens, so I don't know if that would encourage
Tonight.
It will
anybody.
happen right now.
It's happening
It will
tonight.
happen right this second. Like right now. You have 1 minute. 10 people. Go.
8
Ow.
people. That's all we need in life.
8.
I hope that
people.
you guys will stick around and watch some videos too, because there's really good stuff. And I'm live every Thursday night at what time am I live? 8 o'clock Central.
She's so excited she can't remember when she goes live. My show tomorrow is at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know a lot of people work, so my thought behind that was to do it while Dalton's at school, because I'm trying not to take time away from him while doing the business. But I might do one sale a week, and Dalton loves to show the people stuff. The people that are in my membership that see my live shipping know some Mondays Dalton takes over. Like, he's right here in your face showing you stuff, and he loves doing it. So I might do like one weekend day a month and let Dalton show everything, because he loves showing everything. So we might do a little Dalton whatnot. I've seen a few kids
You
on
did
some
it.
whatnot shows,
Right.
and did she do it?
Yay! Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just saw it in the
No,
chat. I
you're
got real
fine.
excited.
Hang
I'm
on.
gonna
Let me
give
get
you
a
a dolphin.
Let me get a picture for the gram. Wait, everybody smile
Okay.
pretty.
Cheese.
Yeah, that's pretty epic. Was it the mystery box that got you guys?
Where's your dolphin, Rachel?
I love it. I feel like I have
Yay,
street cred
Rachel.
now.
Look, Mary wasn't even paying attention. She just kept refreshing your channel. She said, I'm not paying attention. All right,
That's
guys,
amazing.
we're past
Thank you,
10
guys.
o'clock. Thank you guys for getting Rachel to 10K. I'm going to make everybody big again. We still have over 500 in the chat. Thank you all. 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please come hang out at my Whatnot show. Please. You don't have to buy anything, or you can use your free $15. But come hang out. Come hang out. It's my first one. And Tiffany's first one is on Sunday, too. So let me make the ladies big, tell you what they've got coming up, and then I will tell you who will be on next week. Here is Sarah.
Thanks for watching. Sarah Styles LLC. Everywhere my social media is meant to teach resellers how to leverage their tools and analytics to make more money reselling, regardless of what you sell, what platform you sell. I really teach the tools and analytics and how-to videos on that. And I sell women's fashion on eBay and Poshmark. I haven't done Whatnot yet, so check out the other ladies on Whatnot.
All right, here is Rachel.
Guys, this number keeps climbing, and I'm just going to tell you, I could probably cry. I might when I get off of here. I'll try to hold it together just for Kat. But I don't take your subscription lightly. I don't take your time lightly, and I work really hard on my channel. So my next video that's coming out is my 16-year-old son who's just getting into reselling, and I are at a live auction, and I'm spending his money sourcing. And so my very next video is a live auction, putting out lots of Whatnot content. So I know as Kat is getting all of you guys stoked about Whatnot, look for tutorials on there. You all should be on there selling, crushing it, you know, making hundreds of dollars a night on your Whatnots. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for making my 10K dreams a reality tonight. I have to go to the store and get a bottle of champagne now because I was unprepared. But thank you.
Woo! Yay! All right, here's Miss Tiffany.
Thank you so much for spending your evening with us, everybody. It was really, really fun. I'm Thrifting Vegas. I drop YouTube videos on Thursdays and on Sundays. I have an eBay store. I have a Poshmark store. And my first Whatnot sale is on Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. That's
4.
Yeah,
4 p.m.
4 for some of you. But please, yeah, Katz is tomorrow at 11 a.m. Join her too. Julian, I hope you feel better. We missed you. And thank you for being sick, only because it allowed me the opportunity to co-host this amazing show. Thank you, Kat. We love you.
Thank you, guys. Tiffany and Sarah came on really last minute. So next week, I have Carrie, American Arbitrage, along with Tay, Prison to Profit. Prison to Profit. I'm having problems with my speaking. Thank you again to Katie Reeds. Again, check out her channel. She has been helping behind the scenes the whole 2 hours while holding her beautiful, beautiful baby boy. So I appreciate Katie helping me. Richard told me I owe him a dolphin, that we missed one. So I'm going to give Richard Otnip Drop Flips another dolphin. He has a channel as well and has been helping me for years. He's an amazing guy. I've met him in person multiple times. So definitely check him out as well. Before I give Richard his dolphin, I will be live tomorrow on Whatnot, 11 a.m. And then I'm doing my video on the Seller Hub, walking through where to find your coupon, how to do sales, how to see your selling fees, the little chart and graph. Just important things I think that you can use on there that you might not know how. Friday is a high dollar brooch video. And then Saturday on Catch Treasure Hunting, another really, really good thrifting trip. So I have a lot of fun stuff coming up. Richard, here's your dolphin. Thank you for helping me. And we appreciate you guys. We are here every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you all so much for coming out. We will see you next Tuesday.